Super excited, yeah. I like the Velodrome. Found a bit more speed and set up my new race bike, which is very exciting.
There it is, back there somewhere. Still a secret until later today.
Just did my hair. About the Velodrome, I am doing a bit of testing, a few key things. First thing is on suits and suit material. So Huub have got a number of different materials that we can use on my suits. So it's basically looking at what's fastest for me, probably at like a couple of different speeds, because that kind of depends on the courses as to what we think average speed's going to be. So that'll give a good base of like what's the best suit for me. I'm also going to do another round of helmet testing. Again, just check that either my current helmet's the fastest or see if there's a better helmet that I can use. And then probably a little bit of position stuff. So yeah, the Wattshop guys are here, so it'll be just testing a couple of their bars, see which ones I can get into a gooder position. Like, I'm not expecting to be able to do a huge amount with my position, just given that I think it's already pretty good. Mainly suit, helmets, other random stuff that might come out of it. New bike, I mean it's not really a new bike, so it's exactly the same as my old bike, but slightly different paint job, so it's like got matte finish rather than shiny finish, and it is, yeah, new, so it'll feel quite nice hopefully compared to my poor bike that's been absolutely bashed around all the British roads, so should feel good.
Various suits, different fabrics from our comprehensive fabric matrix. Some would say the most comprehensive in existence. So lots of tech, lots of research that have gone into these suits for different speeds, different heat conditions, everything really, just optimising that. We have 3 or 4 suits here with 2 different calf sleeve variations. We've already trimmed down selections to these now based on speeds and based on cylinder sizes that we know for men and female from our matrix and knowledge of what we've been doing. So we've already refined it to where we are now. When the data shows us which is the fastest suit, which is the fastest setup for them, again we'll look at conditions, because you could have a suit that's awesome for dissipating heat but fractionally slower. But if you're doing a hot race, then what do you value more? Again, non-wetsuit, wetsuit swims, which tri-suits take on aren't very good at swimming in if you have to wear that under a swim skin. And then it's design phase. We've got some good designers at Huub who will take any sort of concept to reality. So we're working on some stuff for Ruth, which she's been looking at, choosing over in the last couple of weeks. Some people are very fussy, some people aren't.
She's pretty fussy, yeah.
I was going to say, where am I?
Actually, no, to be fair, you're very straightforward, and it's going to be a nice looking suit.
For the second time, we're on the Velodrome today here in Derby with Ruth. We've been testing positional changes and different tri-suits and calf guards. From Huub perspective, we've been looking really how those different fabrics work for Ruth, and looking at some different custom suits for her and how those fabrics interact with her and her position. So obviously everyone comes in a different position, and kind of it's down to like myself and Jamie from Wattshop to look and see what's kind of required. Ruth have got a new bar set up on today, so to start we've looked at bringing the hands up a little bit, got a bit higher, then looked at lengthening her out. it's playing about a little bit and seeing what works. Does going longer make you faster, slower? If maybe it makes you go slower, for example, we go, okay, well, let's try even shorter then. Let's try even lower. You try the opposite. It's just a big science experiment, essentially. We change one variable. Is it faster, yes or no? We like to try and go in the right direction to start with what we think should be quicker and we think will help. A lot of the positional changes, is how you then get your head and how that then interacts with your body. So yeah, high handstands to help bring your head down. So little things like that, and just really dial in a position in that way. Yeah. So again, helmets are really specific. There is no one fastest helmet. There's a fastest helmet for each individual because essentially the flow of air changes over that person. So yeah, we tested a variety of helmets with us today just to see which came out the quickest, and to be able to tick off which ones also weren't quickest. And it's just really useful, especially for professional athletes, to know what's fast, what's not fast, because obviously if you've been approached by a sponsor and you might be being paid all the money in the world, but if you tell them what's slower, you're throwing race results away. It's not worth it. The difference between the wind tunnel and the Velodrome, the wind tunnel is obviously super precise. It's really good for intricate, tight measurements. But when we're making positional changes like we were today, the problem is not all athletes can be truly honest to their real world position. If you're really experienced, you probably can be, but if you're still not the most experienced aerial rider in the entire world, what tends to happen is you get a bit excited, you start looking really low down, you start looking at your hub, and then you start riding in a position that's just ultimately not sustainable. We then make all these changes, so we then change your helmet, change your tri-suit around a position that's not sustainable and isn't the one you're going to ride in real life. Whereas on the Velodrome, although it might seem simple, there's no obstacles, there's no traffic lights or motorbikes to crash into on the Velodrome. You still, unless you're super experienced, you do still need to look up, you still need to look where you're going. And it makes you a lot more accountable to that real world position.
How is it?
Yeah, fun. It's more fun going fast. Yep.
How's the bike?
Bike's good. Feels the same. Yeah, now I've got these back into more similar position. But yeah, it'll be interesting to test how much of a difference that makes with the tilt. But yeah, no, feels good. Jamie, how much faster have you made me today?
Oh, tons. Tons and tons faster.
Very scientific.
I think compared to where we started from, I don't think it's loads and loads. I think you might be looking at around 10 watts, which is nice to have. And then tried some things which didn't always work out. What do you call it? Like morale watts, what works and what doesn't work now. Played around a little bit, done some small things, had a good look at skin suits and calf guards and bits and pieces. It's looking pretty lean. In a minute, it's going to be built up with a pair of, we're going to put some Wattshop minimoys on there. Decent little position, nice and narrow, good reach on it, should be comfortable.
I've ruled out calf guards, which is nice because they're a faff. I've ruled out camelback, also nice because also that's slight faffy.
Tested a few skin suits.
Yeah, tested some skin suits.
Found best option from Huub.
Yeah.
Always good.
And then just front end wise, it's just nice having, we basically just went a little bit longer. I'm a little bit more stretched out than I was, which, I think now the next step is just test it, check that feels okay running off it, because I guess that's probably the only real concern with changing my position. But feels really comfy, feels really similar to what I had before, which, as I said, I had a pretty good position before, so I wasn't really expecting to massively change the position. But yeah, happy with that. It's been a really productive day. Yeah, productive, I'd say. Tested all the things that I wanted to test. Helmet that I've got is the fastest for me. That one and the UVEX one were very similar, but as I've already got a casque, it means I don't have to buy a new helmet, which is nice. It's good to kind of test out a few more different things. We played around with the front end a little bit in terms of stretching it out a bit, putting the bars at slightly different angles. We got into a pretty good position that feels comfy and is fast. So yeah, successful. So it's quite a long day. We got there for 12:30 and we left at 5:30ish. So yeah, long day of doing stuff. Basically, you want to start by getting your baseline. So we spent a few laps kind of getting to my baseline position. I guess basically what kind of felt comfortable and a bit more similar to the position I'd had before. A little bit of playing around there. That probably took a good half an hour or so after about half an hour of setting the bike up. Basically, we just did a whole load of different runs. It must have been about 12 or so in the end of just trying different things. It's always sort of 2 laps getting up to speed, and then we were doing 8 laps at kind of race-ish effort to test different things. So yeah, first of all we tried different things with the position, to get the position. Then we tried different helmets. Then we did the calf guards, and then we did the skin suits. And yeah, then ended up with what is hopefully my nice fast position.